Hello, you are tuned into the SMX show where we will be ranking all of the Pokemon games that I've played through the day. So let's just start that screen recording. Right, so looking at these, let's just give Blue a little wiggle, and snap. So we're looking at these games, and you'll notice black and white and black and white 2 are not in this list, and that is purely because I never played them. For reasons I will explain very soon. So ranking these games is going to be very difficult because there's a mixture of nostalgia and childhood memory that's with a lot of these games. So I'm going to try and be as impartial as possible with my with my rankings. So and if you enjoy this video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. It would really help me out. Anyway, so starting off with Pokemon Blue. So Pokemon Blue is a fantastic game. It's a game that, let's just put it in E for now. It's a game that really built up what to expect from Pokemon games in the future. It created, it introduced the Pokeball, introduced the Pokemon, it introduced Pikachu. It introduced everything. Unfortunately, it didn't do everything well. It had an amazing story, but it was very linear. Its story was very basic. It was very black and white, pardon the pun. So for that reason, I'm going to put it in C, but that's not me saying it's a bad game. I absolutely love that game. I replay it every couple of years. And when it eventually gets released on the Nintendo Switch Online, I will be replaying it again then as well. So I'm not saying I don't like the game. C is a very good ranking. It's just it didn't have all those quality of life improvements which would have made the game a lot easier to replay later on. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, same reasons as before. It suffered from, and I know it was part of the reason why you buy the game as well, Pikachu's following you everywhere, which is great. I love that Pikachu was following me around everywhere. It was just like in the anime, but it also took up a Pokemon slot. So you're down from 6 Pokemon to just having 5 Pokemon to choose from, which was fairly annoying at the time. So that brings us on to Pokemon Silver. So Pokemon Silver, Pokemon Gold, pretty much the same game anyway. But Pokemon Silver, very easy decision. I'm putting that in S tier. Probably one of the greatest Pokemon games ever made. It had all the Pokemon from the previous generation in there, and it had an amazing story, which was really dark at the time as well. Team Rocket were cutting off Slowpoke tails. It was absolutely crazy, especially when you first find Team Rocket. Like, oh my god, Team Rocket are back! You go down the well, and you just go into this crazy world of animal cruelty that you're trying to defend the Pokemon from. I remember the whole, the towers, of the Ho-Oh and Lugia, or Lugia, depends. Back then, I didn't have access to the anime, so I always said Lugia. I know now it's Lugia according to the anime, but Lugia in my head. Absolutely fantastic game. An amazing story, amazing Pokemon, especially rollout with Milk Tank. You could pretty much finish the entire game with one Pokemon, if you let it do rollout for long enough, because it was unlimited. Its power was unlimited. And when you finish the game, spoiler alert for Silver, for a 20-year-old game, more than 30 years? Oh, no shit now. You got to go back to Kanto. So when you finish in Johto and you finish the Pokemon, you can then go back to Kanto, and you can even fight Pokemon Red and his Pokemon, and you see what Gary Oak was up to. Well, Blue, but it was called Gary in my head, But absolutely amazing game, and a real amazing callback to a previous game in the franchise. And then that takes me to Pokemon Sapphire. Now, Pokemon Sapphire is my favourite Pokemon game. I'm not gonna lie, my favourite Pokemon game. When I played the remake, it was taking me back in the past. Now, Pokemon Sapphire is a game where Again, fantastic story. You know, you got, what is it, Team Aqua, and they want to flood the world. They want to get rid of all the land, flood the world. The world is for the sea creatures. Blah blah blah. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely love the Pokemon in this as well. And this Pokemon game, and I still have this same very version of the game. Where are my Game Boy games? I think I took them away, didn't I? Looking around. Yeah, but not next to me. Oh, that's unfortunate. I could have shown it to you. But basically, unless it's there. I found it. Let me just show you. Oh, it's not there. Oh, here it is. So this is the same Pokemon Sapphire I played when I was a kid. Now, the important thing about this game for me is that when my father passed away, I was actually playing that game at the time when I was told, and that game really helped me through what was one of the hardest the hardest part of my entire life. And I always said to myself, I'm going to get all the Pokemon on this game. I'm going to get all the Pokemon. I've never actually managed, and I still have the same save in there, and I really need to back that save up because I've had that save since 2005, possibly a bit longer, and absolutely amazing game. So it's in the S tier. Plus you got the bicycle, you got all the amazing, you got all the different areas. You got your, you got the jungly area, and it also introduced what was it called? I'm losing my brain here. Introduced hideouts, which was really cool. So you could visit, if you had your link cable, you could visit each other's hideouts. So you could decorate it. I remember I had a giant Snorlax plush in there, which was really, really cool. That takes us on to Pokemon Diamond, which is also what's going to take us on to why I've never played Pokemon Black and White 2. I'm going to put that in the D tier, and I'll tell you why. It's a bad Pokemon game. It's just a bad game. It didn't introduce anything new. It didn't really expand on anything like the previous Pokemon games did. It felt like it was coaxing off the success of the previous games. And as a result, it just felt bland. It felt boring. It didn't feel new. It just felt like a rehash. It felt like a copy and paste. I have the same opinion of Pokemon Diamond that I do of the FIFA franchise. It's just a copy and paste of the previous games with some minor graphical improvements. Absolutely nothing was changed. And as a result of that, due to nothing new being included in the game other than Pokemon, which from what I remember was a very low number anyway, it resulted in me getting burnt out on the franchise. And I never picked up Pokemon again for a very, very long time. So I skipped out on Black and White, skipped out on Black and White 2, skipped out on Pokemon Platinum, which I'm sure would have fixed a lot of the problems I had with those, with Pokemon Diamond as well. It wasn't a good time for me. So I just straight up skipped Black and White 2, which turns out was really bad because apparently they turned out to be some of the best in the franchise. I can't buy them now because they're too damn expensive. But I did used to own them, but I sold them. I bought them because I thought, I'll give it a go, but I was still suffering a burn from diamonds, so I just left it. Oh well, live and you learn. So then that takes me to 2013. I've just got married to my lovely wife, and there's a new Pokemon game coming out, and I'm thinking, it's been a long time since I played Pokemon. I've got my 3DS, and my friend Moggy, he's buying it too. I'm like, you know what? I will play. I'll get Pokemon X. It looks amazing, and I saw some of the trailers. The trailers look absolutely fantastic. And I felt like it had been long enough that anything that was a refresh or repaste of the previous games, I'd left it long enough that it would feel new to me again. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the A tier. Absolutely amazing game. One of the best games in the entire franchise. Absolutely loved it. Just everything about it. And I absolutely love the customization of the characters in there as well. So I spent a hell of a lot of time just customizing my characters. Just customizing. It was amazing. And then Pokemon Moon was very much, as I can go into That's going to go in the S tier, actually. I changed my mind. That's going in the S tier. Just purely because of the amazing story, the portals that open up, and the end game as well. It just makes the game just an absolutely perfect Pokemon game. Absolutely perfect. It's also a game that my wife also played with. It's a great bonding experience. It's always nice to play games with your partner. So that takes us on to Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. That can also go in the D tier. No, I'm joking. I actually really enjoyed the game, but it's staying in the D tier. And I'm actually going to move Diamond to the E tier. I've changed my mind on that one. It's just Diamond was... Diamond can go in the F tier. It's the worst Pokemon game. Oops. Diamond has disappeared. Anyway, you can just... We're going to be doing Diamond again soon anyway, because I played the remake, so I thought I'd give it another shot. But yeah, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee in the D tier. It just felt like... It was great to be able to play Red and Blue, kind of, again. And I got the little Pokeball, so I could play it one-handed and throw the Pokeball. There was a lot of aspects in that game I'd always wanted from a Pokemon game. However, it just... because of the way they implemented these the new candy system, it took away the challenge of the game. It took away the challenge. There was absolutely... I completed that game first time without really amending my party at any point during the entire game, without being defeated once. And I'm pretty certain if I went again, I could do it with one Pokemon without even having that Pokemon faint. Like, I'll just never update my party. That's how I feel about the game. Just damn easy. Which is a shame, because, like, you want your games to be difficult. Now that takes us to Pokemon Sword. Now, Pokemon Sword doesn't quite belong in the S tier. It doesn't belong in the A tier either. It introduced a lot of new things and a fantastic story. And it was set in the UK as well, which was absolutely fantastic. The Galar region based on the UK. But it's going to go comfortably in the B tier. Ooh. Oh, Diamond just popped up again. Right, let's move that down. Come on. Come on, Diamond. Go. There we go. And put Pokemon Sword in the B tier. There we go. So, yeah, Pokemon Sword going into B tier, set in the Galar region, based on the UK. So I've seen a lot of things that I recognise. Need to sneeze. Oh, God bless me. Arceus me, I should say. No, absolutely fantastic game. Just the environments, and I absolutely loved the woods scene with all the glowing plants. I spent hours in there finding an authentic Sinistee, which is because of it's one of my favourite Pokemon. Absolutely fantastic Pokemon, Sinistee. You know it's the real one because it's got a little mark on the bottom to say it's real. Anyway, so that's that one. And that takes us on to Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. Now, I actually enjoyed the game. It was nice to revisit it and give it another shot. Now I'm older, wiser, and willing to give things just a further try. Unfortunately, I still didn't quite enjoy it. The end game was pretty much not what I was looking for. I didn't like the whole underground caverns thing. It just wasn't great. I'm putting that in the E tier. It was better than Diamond, but it wasn't there. But there was a lot that needed to be improved in that game to really bring it up to specs of the other games. But the next remakes, most likely going to be Black and White and Black and White 2. So I'm looking forward to playing those. So Pokemon Diamond walked, so Black and White could run, I suppose. Or we might be getting Let's Go Silver, Let's Go Gold, whatever they will be. Anyway, so that brings us on to our latest Pokemon game, Pokemon Violet. How do I feel about that? I really enjoyed the open world aspects of this game. Really loved it. I really enjoyed the environments, hunting down the Pokemon, getting to the Pokemon League, And I liked that you could have other people join the world with you through for multiplayer. Something that, to my knowledge, you've never really been able to do before. So you'd actually meet each other in the same world and just explore it together and play games. Not just Pokemon. You can move. You can like, interact with the environment, play a bit of football and stuff like that. So the issue is with it being the open worldness of the game was fantastic, but it was very bland. The story was rubbish. The actual open world was very bland. It lacked any real imagination. It just felt like it was hit random, and just, a lot of the areas just didn't work. I'm gonna be putting this one in the seed here, just on the basis that it introduced a lot of aspects within the Pokemon series that we will be using in the future, and it did them all okay. Just like Pokemon Red and Blue introduced a lot of aspects and did them okay, but it didn't do them perfectly. But I can see these aspects being made better. As losing my words, just can't speak today. Maybe I should drink some isopropyl alcohol. Glug, glug, glug. I can see the open world in the video game being expanded and improved on in the future. And Pokemon Arceus, I just realised it's not in this list. I never actually played it. I'm looking to buy that game very soon and give that a fair whack. And I'll do a review for that on my channel when that's done as well. But yeah, those are just cut to me. Those are the best Pokemon games IMO. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video, and I do actually hope some of you disagreed with my listings. Do you feel like some games should have been higher or some games should have been lower? Please leave a comment below and let me know, and just tell me where I've gone wrong. But there's no such thing as a wrong opinion, and I appreciate everyone's opinion, no matter how different they are to mine. I hope you all have an amazing week, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye.